Hello, and here we are again to look over the month that is going to begin shortly or has already begun, and that is the month of May. The month of May is an interesting month, at least it will be, especially for this year, as we are celebrating a late Easter, and even getting into the field has been taking some time. And so we are busy in the fields trying to get the crop in before its limited date. Pentecost, this beautiful feast of the gift of the Spirit, who's calling us to go beyond ourselves and outside of ourselves. And so therefore, we are going to walk to that Pentecost. From Easter to Pentecost, we hear and we listen how the church began and how the people who decided to follow Christ began a new way of seeing the faith, of living out the faith, and to be Christ-like meant that we had to change of a few of our customs and our ways of doing, and that did not happen without difficulties, even violent difficulties between people as the church began to be persecuted for its proclamation. At the Easter Vigil, we had the opportunity to renew our promises, our baptismal promises, our commitment of truly being disciples of Christ, of announcing to the world that Christ died for us and rose from the dead. Now, this message is not an easy message to give out in our world of today, yet that is the message. That is the mission that we are called to give, and we know we can't do it without the gift of the Holy Spirit. It's the Holy Spirit that's going to give us that push or that pull, the guts to be able to go forth and proclaim that good news. And what is the best way of giving out this good news? There's a nice advertisement on TV that talks about that. Witnesses speak more than words. And that's the same thing for us. Our lives have to show that we are committed to a Christ who wants to be in our midst at all times. In all what we are experiencing, all what we are going through, Christ wants us to be with us, and he wants to use you and I, as we are, with our gift and talents, to bring that good news. To bring that good news to the reality and the daily experiences of people's lives. For where there is despair, let us bring joy. Where there is discouragement, may we be a presence. May those who are depressed, may we continue to be present to them so that we can help them to go beyond what they are experiencing in their lives. And for those who are lonely, and for those who are poor, as the summer comes, we know that we have street people. How do we address them? How do we approach them? How do we go forth to them? Our faith is not one that we find in the upper room, but the faith is the one that we find that pushes us to go into the streets, to cure the sick, to bring comfort to those who are in despair, to bring joy to those who are experiencing sadness and discouragement and desolation in life. So it's an outgoing faith, a faith that goes towards others. But of course, we cannot be always going towards others. We can't always be doing this mission outwardly without, first of all, having it anchored in a community, in a faith community, in a community that's going to help me to grow in the talents and gifts that were given to me. And so we need this community. And the best prayer to celebrate together or to have together as we want to re-energize ourselves, re-encourage us, reinvigorate within us this mission that was given to us is through the Eucharist, reminding us always of that event of the death and resurrection of Christ. By the breaking of the bread, by the sharing of the cup, of the washing of the feet. 3 gestures we did during Holy Week that remind us of our whole mission, his mission, the mission we are called to bring out in our world. So surely we need the help of the Holy Spirit, but we need the helps of our fellow people, our fellow Christians. This is a togetherness that helps us to go out and change that world. It's not the first time we talk about it. We've been repeating it over and over again so that we feel that the only way to fulfill the mission of Christ is to go and encounter other people, to go and have a conversation with other people, to go and take people where they are so that they may take one step forward. We are all in one way physically handicapped, mentally handicapped in our spiritual life. We all need that support. We all need that understanding. We all need that encouragement. And that is what our mission is all about. Of course, we know the world is full of bleak images, of a lot of sadness. We cannot take ourselves away from that reality. That's my reality, where there's a lot of violence. The Sri Lanka event is a great event, or not a great event, but a very sad event, in which so many Christians were killed because they are Christians. Catholics besides that, Catholics who really wanted to live out their faith on the Easter morning, and were encountered with violence. We're encountered with death, explosion, expression of hatred, expression of revenge, expression of submission. And we have to change that world. That world that is calling us and inviting us to bring change and to bring the newness of Christ's life, one of love. Like I said before, love of Christ is an unconditional love. There's no ifs and buts about it. It's all or nothing, if that is true life. And so we need the help of our community. Our community has to be a witness of a mission given to her, to the world. That salt that gives that taste, as it dissolves in the water, gives a tasting feeling to the food that we are about to eat. So this is perhaps a good reflection we can have during the time we pass from after Easter towards Pentecost. As we leave Jerusalem to go towards the world that is around us. As we go to that world that is crying out, that is asking us to bring change and to bring love, to bring forgiveness and to bring mercy. It is also the month that we will celebrate Mother's Day. Mother's Day is a special day for all of us because mothers play an important role in our life, in our upbringing. The mother plays an important role. Mother is the mentor to the child of how to be a human being in society. Unfortunately, there are some children who do not have that experience. We think of them in our prayers, but for those who are doing or living out that mission, we should be showing our appreciation to them, giving them a break in all their activities to tell them that we love and we care for them. It's also the feast or the month of Mary our mother, who also takes care of us, who also is present with us as we go through the days, and the days get longer as we walk towards summer. Also, during this month, we are going to have a special week set aside for Catholic education, the education of our children that starts in the home. It's in the home that the child learns how to say thank you, learns how to say please, learns how to eat, to have manners. And this is very important for us to understand. And Catholic education is trying to give this to our children. The mannerism, the Christian mannerism in our world of today. And so we set aside a week for that, to help us reflect on different themes that are very important for us to live out, or to help our children to live out that who they are called to be in the future, and even now. And so at the end of the month also, we celebrate Altar Service Appreciation Day. A day to say thank you to all those who serve at the altar of the Lord every Sunday, every feast day. Who these children come together to help us better celebrate that Eucharist. That's going to help us to be that community that is called to give witness in our world of today, and as individuals also. So there are many things happening in the month of May. I could name other ones, but we'll limit ourselves to these. And I hope you'll have an enjoyable month. Yes, it's time to plant your garden, to transplant your different plants from your kitchen window or from any place into your garden, to embellish the world around us, to make it beautiful again, to sow your different vegetables in the garden. And we are a little bit vegetable-centered in our diets nowadays, and it's time to grow fresh. How we love to have fresh vegetables from the garden. Never mind from the store, from the garden, where we feel the beauty of what true food is all about. And so today, as we end this time of reflection, let us also be mindful of Christ, who is always renewing us, wanting us to be that freshness of Christ in our world today, so that we can bring his message, as we are, to the world around us, through the first hello we say and the first good morning. Thank you.